The kind that doesn't rush you, doesn't confuse you, and doesn't make you question your worth at 2 a.m. Some people don't just enter your life to love you, they enter to change you. They soften the parts of you the world hardened. They listen, even when you don't have the words, and somehow being with them feels like coming home, not chasing a feeling. But here's the truth most people never talk about: real love doesn't scream. It settles. It shows up quietly, consistently, and without fear. If you've ever wondered whether a connection is destiny or just attachment, stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll see your relationship with a clarity you've never felt before. Comment the country or city you're watching from. I read every one. Subscribe for weekly psychology truths that speak to your soul. When two people are truly meant to be together, there's an undeniable sense of safety that goes far beyond physical comfort. It's the kind of safety where you can lower your walls completely and let your authentic self breathe freely. Think about it. How often do we hide parts of ourselves, carefully curating what the world sees, shielding our vulnerabilities for fear of rejection? But in this kind of connection, that fear evaporates. You don't feel the pressure to perform or to be someone you're not. You don't have to guess what will make the other person stay. Simply being yourself is enough, and that is incredibly rare. Psychology calls this emotional safety, and it is one of the most fundamental indicators of a bond meant to last. Emotional safety isn't just a fleeting comfort, it's a signal that your brains and hearts are aligned. When you can share your insecurities, your failures, and even your silent, unspoken fears without worry, your relationship begins to release oxytocin, the hormone that fosters trust, attachment, and long-term bonding. It's fascinating how the science of connection validates what our intuition has always known: when we feel safe and our hearts open fully. And that openness transforms the way we relate, not just to each other, but to life itself. You stop guarding your feelings and start experiencing intimacy at a level most people never reach. What's remarkable is how this emotional safety interacts with vulnerability. In a relationship built to last, vulnerability is not terrifying, it is welcomed. You can cry without embarrassment, laugh without hesitation, and even sit in silence without discomfort. And in those quiet moments, the connection deepens. The trust strengthens. You recognize that someone else sees you. Not the mask, not the curated version, but the raw, beautiful, complicated person you are, and still chooses to stay. That recognition, that acceptance, is more powerful than words can capture. It's a signal that your bond is grounded not in superficial attraction, but in mutual understanding and profound respect. This kind of safety doesn't diminish excitement, it heightens it. Because when you don't have to pretend, every smile, every touch, every conversation carries authenticity. You are free to experience love without the constant anxiety of evaluation. You are free to be fully present. And when a connection allows for this level of freedom, it is a sign that it is not just temporary, it is transformative. So, if you notice that with someone you can be your true self, without fear, without pretense, without hesitation, hold on to that. Cherish it. Relationships like this are not common, and they are not accidental. They are a reflection of alignment, maturity, and psychological resonance. When emotional safety exists, it is a quiet but powerful confirmation this connection is meant to be, and it has the potential to last a lifetime. Remember this: the person who makes you feel safe is not just a partner. They are a sanctuary for your heart. Being truly meant for each other doesn't mean you will never face disagreements. On the contrary, even the deepest, most aligned relationships encounter friction. What sets these connections apart, however, is the way conflict is handled. When two people are deeply connected, arguments don't become a battlefield to be won, they become a space for understanding. There's a remarkable psychological truth here. Couples who can navigate disagreement with empathy, curiosity, and patience build stronger bonds than those who avoid conflict entirely. The difference lies in intention. Are you trying to dominate, or are you trying to connect? Are you seeking to prove a point or to understand your partner's heart? Communication in these relationships flows naturally, even under pressure. You begin to notice subtle patterns. How they phrase their thoughts, the pauses they take before responding, the way they hold back judgment. These small cues, when understood, create a bridge over what could otherwise be turbulent waters. It's in this flow that true compatibility is revealed. Psychology tells us that emotional intelligence is key in sustaining love. When both partners can express frustration, disappointment, or even anger without fear of rejection, trust deepens. It's a delicate dance where words are measured, voices are calm, and listening is prioritized over reacting. What's most profound is the repair process that follows conflict. In relationships built to last, tension is not left to fester. There's a natural inclination to reconcile, to reconnect, and to restore closeness. This is not about glossing over disagreements or pretending everything is perfect. It's about acknowledging the hurt, taking responsibility, and consciously choosing each other again. Science shows that couples who repair effectively after conflict experience higher relationship satisfaction, increased resilience, and long-term emotional stability. Simply put, the ability to argue and repair is not a weakness. It is a hallmark of a bond that is mature, intentional, and enduring. Conflict also reveals another layer of compatibility values, priorities, and emotional alignment. When disagreements arise, you see how your partner navigates tension, how they express boundaries, and whether they honor your perspective. Over time, these moments of friction become opportunities for growth, both individually and as a couple. You begin to understand that being meant for each other does not erase imperfections. It creates a container in which imperfections are accepted, explored, and ultimately integrated into the relationship. So if you notice that with someone, even your disagreements lead to understanding instead of distance, celebration instead of resentment, recognize it as a profound sign. It's not just a reflection of love, it's a reflection of emotional maturity, psychological alignment, and true partnership. Relationships that endure are not those without conflict. They are those with the wisdom to communicate, to repair, and to grow stronger together. Remember this, the way you argue together reveals far more about your connection than the absence of arguments ever could. When two people are truly meant to be together, they don't just exist alongside each other, they grow together. This growth isn't about changing someone to fit your expectations or about limiting their individuality. It's about mutual expansion. Psychologists call this phenomenon self-expansion, the idea that relationships have the power to broaden your experiences, your perspectives, and even your identity. When a connection is right, being together inspires both of you to become the best versions of yourselves, not through pressure or obligation, but through encouragement, admiration, and subtle influence. You start to notice it in the small, almost imperceptible ways. Perhaps your partner challenges you to face a fear you've avoided for years, or encourages a creative pursuit you've always dreamed of exploring. Maybe they push you to communicate more honestly or to embrace habits that improve your well-being. And the remarkable thing is that these moments of growth never feel forced. They feel organic, almost inevitable. When someone truly aligns with you, their presence naturally motivates you to evolve because their energy, values, and perspective resonate with your own deepest aspirations. This kind of relationship creates a dynamic of support without dependence. You are not shrinking to fit someone else's life, and they are not shrinking to fit yours. Instead, you amplify each other. There is a constant sense of empowerment that underpins every interaction. When you succeed, your partner celebrates without envy. When you struggle, they support without judgment. This balance is rare, and it is essential. Psychologically, it fosters not only self-confidence, but also trust, resilience, and long-term satisfaction. A relationship that encourages growth transforms challenges into opportunities for connection, rather than obstacles to intimacy. What's equally significant is how this mutual growth affects your sense of purpose. Being with someone who complements your evolution allows you to see your life in a larger, richer context. You are reminded that love is not just about comfort or pleasure. It is about becoming more fully alive, more conscious, and more capable of contributing to the world. Philosophically, this aligns with the idea that human connection is not static. It is transformative. A partnership that elevates both individuals is rare, and it often feels almost like destiny because it touches something profound within each of you, the yearning to grow, to flourish, and to experience life fully. So, if you recognize that being with someone makes you stronger, more courageous, and more alive, not in competition, but in harmony, hold on to that connection. Cherish it. Relationships like this are not just love stories, they are catalysts for transformation. They remind you that love is not passive. It is active. It challenges, it nurtures, and it inspires. Remember this, the right relationship doesn't limit you. It expands you. And in that expansion, you find not only your partner, but yourself.